suddenly I saw a policeman and a policewoman in the apartment. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. If you are new here, welcome. If you have ever been here, welcome back. On this channel, I try to inspire people through talks of real life experiences and also through fitness. So please, if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe because we are heading to 1,000 subscribers. Please help me reach 1,000 subscribers and even more. Today I'm going to speak about another experience that I made in this country, Germany. And it's about my ex who threw me out with my child in the middle of the night until a good Samaritan saved us. If you have not yet watched that video, please scroll down, you will see the video. There were very many reasons as to why I decided to break up with this man. But I'm just going to speak about the most important reasons. One of the reasons was that this person did not buy any food items in the house. And I had a friend, a Kenyan friend who had known at the Kenyan embassy, at the German embassy in Kenya, who was living in the nearest town. I lived in a village, and the girl lived in a town that was not very far away from there. So this girl would she visited me once, but I remember I had 5 euros. That was the only money I had at that time. And there's a time I visited this girl and she packed food items for me. And she also gave me some pocket money. So this pocket money this girl gave me is the one that I used to pay for my bus fare to go and visit her. And when I visited her, she packed a lot of food items for me. And when I got back home, I cooked, and my ex-boyfriend ate and ate and ate until he could not even breathe. He didn't even bother to ask where I had gotten the food from. He didn't even know if I had gotten it from another man. Or maybe, no. Okay, that's it. Anyway, that was one of the reasons. And if you know me personally, you just know that I love food. Even if I don't love food, who would survive without food? And you know, maybe some of you are asking yourselves why I could not buy the food. It's like this. When I was an au pair, I used to send almost all my pocket money to Kenya. And as an au pair, you don't get a lot of pocket money. You get like 26,000 Kenya shillings, 260 euros. I would send something like 200 euros to Kenya. And I would use the other 60 euros for my personal use. And by the time I had finished my au pair year, I didn't have any cent because I was that person who didn't even know how to save. And I was so optimistic that I was going to get a job. But life came the way it was planned for me to come. So when I was living with this person, I didn't have any money. I lived in a village. I didn't have a driving license, and in the village, the bus didn't drive as regularly as it is in big towns. So that's why I couldn't even look for a job that was far away from there because getting there would be a problem. But there's a time I told my ex that I would like to ask in the neighborhood if I could clean their homestead, the windows, and everything. And he told me if I dare do that, then he would throw me out. He didn't want me to work in the village. He didn't want me to do such kind of job. On the other hand, he was not able to provide for me my needs. Anyway, so most of the times I got food from this friend of mine, and there's a girl who I used to communicate with on Facebook. I don't know this girl personally. I have been searching for her for the past years, but I cannot find her. Maybe she changed her names. I don't know. I hope I will find her one day because she also helped me. I narrated to her my problems, and she sent me, I remember she sent me omena, this small fish in Kenya, and some tea leaves, beans, maize, and also 5 euros. So I got food mostly from strangers and friends, And most of the times we also went to his mother to eat there. We ate at his parents' house, and that's something I did not want. I didn't want any mama's boy. So that thing really bothered me. Okay, the next reason as to why I decided to break up with this person, I know when I'm going to tell you this, guys, you are going to shake your head, and maybe you are going to ask yourself one question, and I'm not going to pose this question. Just know the question you're going to ask yourself, and the answer you're going to give it yourself, that's the right answer. So there's a time we had a very big quarrel, and me being that young and naive girl who was very mad, I was very angry, and I just thought I should teach this man a lesson. I sat down and thought, which lesson could I teach him? And I said, right, I got an answer. That was, this person was a fan of Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels is some kind of whiskey which goes for like, I think 15 euros a bottle. That's like 1,500 Kenyan shillings. So I took one of the bottles and hid it somewhere in the kitchen. And then I took some glasses and hit them, not massively, but just so that they could produce a sound like I was throwing something. And when he had that sound, he came and asked me what that was. I told him that I had thrown his whiskey through the balcony. Maybe you're shaking your head, but you know what? That's not all. Because his reaction is something that really shocked me, and it even shocks me today, where I think, who does that? Which normal person does that? Like, really? Okay, so the next thing I knew, or I heard, I just said, this is the sound of a police car. And I thought maybe the police car was just passing by. I just went on with my business until suddenly I saw a policeman and a policewoman in the apartment. They were there. They had been called. Mr. had called them. Mr. had dialed the 110. 110 is the emergency number of the police in Germany. So that was an emergency for this person. I had thrown his whiskey. My God, how? So oh my, it's funny. It's even funny and weird. So the police were there and they were like, oh, what's your name? I told them what my name was. So your mister has called us because he had a quarrel, and he threw his bottle of whiskey away. I'm even wondering how could the police just waste their time to come over because of that, or had they been told some other lies? Because how? I can't even picture me dialing that number and calling the police that someone has thrown my bottle of Amarula somewhere, and they just come. Okay, anyway, so they told me that Mr. had called them because I had thrown his bottle of whiskey, and so they were going to write down a statement if that's true or not. And I told them it's not true. And the man was like, it's true. I heard the voice of the bottle falling down through the balcony, and he went with the policeman out to go and look down through the balcony if the pieces of the bottles were lying there, and nothing was lying there. So they asked me, where did you throw it? I said, no, I didn't throw anything. He's lying. Of course he was lying. I didn't throw anything. And I produced the bottle of whiskey. I removed it from the, do you call it wardrobe? No, wardrobe is for clothes. How do you call these regale? How do you call them? Oh man, please help me. My English is bad. Oh, I need to train. Anyway, I removed it from the kitchen cabinet. Yes, that's the word. From the kitchen cabinet, and showed them. So the case was dropped. Okay, there was no case. The police people had to drive away. They wasted their time anyway. Yeah, that was it anyway. Okay, and another reason as to why I decided to break up with this person was just like I said, every time we had a quarrel, he would threaten to throw me out. He didn't even threaten, he threw me out. He would tell me, out of my apartment, get out of my apartment. And I obeyed. I got out because I feared what he would do with me, or what he would do to me and my child. But something else that really bothered me a lot is that I really worked. I did everything in that household alone. I cleaned, ironed, cooked, looked for a way to get food for ourselves, everything. I ironed his underwears, I ironed his socks, and anything you can think about. But what would this man do? He spent his whole time on the computer from morning to morning. And when I say from morning to morning, it's really like that. Because most of the times he would go to bed, or he would come to bed like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. And sometimes he would even fall asleep on the computer table. I would wake him up. And one day I decided, okay, I'm not going to wake him up. So I wanted to see if he would come alone to bed. And he didn't. So the next day when I woke up at 6 a.m. going to the toilet. Someone was really, really snoring on the computer table. I just went on with my business until I started making coffee. That's when he woke up. That's how he woke up. He was shocked that it was already morning. Yeah. Okay. What was another reason? Why am I even forgetting this? Because it must have been a very... Okay, yes, I now know. Then there's a time I decided to go through his computer. Because he had 2 computers, but anytime I thought, okay, because we were in a relationship, I could use his computer anytime I wanted to. So I got to his computer, it was on, and then I just saw his chats with other women, with other African women from all over the African continent. I think from all the 54 countries, African countries. He was chatting with them, calling each and every woman, my love, my wife, I'm going to marry you, I'm going to pick you up from the airport, when are you coming? And all those lies. Maybe you will say, he didn't do anything, just chatting. But for me, it's the thought that counts. And another thing is that this person, I think I was not his ideal type of woman, or he was living in a world that was just full of lies, full of fantasies. Because on his phone or on his computer, anywhere you would go, he had these photos of women with very, very, very huge boobs. Not cap D, not cap C, not cap double D, cap E, F, G, H, the bigger, the better. And I'm not lying, because there are those women who have operated their boobs, but most of the times the pictures he had from these women were white women. So, don't know. Chatting with African women, being in a relationship with an African woman, and having pictures of white women with very, very huge boobs. The math doesn't add up. But that was him anyway. And so I just thought, why am I even here wasting my time? If someone cannot even appreciate me, I better walk away. And by that time, even my boobs were not as bad as they are today. They were good. I'll show you a picture. Just see that picture down there or on the side. Wherever I'll place it, you'll see it. So that's it. And okay, guys, on the next video, I'm going to tell you what the best friend of this ex did to me. Until then, subscribe. Don't forget to comment. Please, please, please share this video. Help me reach 1,000 subscribers. Goodbye.